Hello nieces, hello nephews, it's your Uncle Charles here, and welcome back to my YouTube video where we do unbiased technical analysis. So if you guys like unbiased technical analysis, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notification, okay? So we're gonna start this off with the flow sentiment. Uncle Charles do sound a little different. I have it filtered for 500k premiums or above and only looking at expiration date that are within 1 month. I'm trying to see what the big money are thinking in the short term, and it's still overall bearish to the downside. Okay, dark pools didn't have any dark pool. Here's the dark pool orders from yesterday: 1.3 billion in premium at the 398.75 level. Looks like a sell, but we'll see. Definitely keep this number added to your chart as one of the resistant levels. All right, gonna move over to my Discord. This is my Discord, really cool. I put all my plans, my other analysis, all in here, my commentary, trade ideas, trade setups, all the good stuff to keep my members on the right side of the trade. If that sounds good to you, definitely consider joining. Okay, so yesterday's plan was very simple. I had a bull case and a bear case. The bull case was I will look for calls if 398 clears, targeting 399.3 to 400 zone, and then 401.5 to 402 zone. That was the gap fill zone, and also test of the multi-month trend line. We didn't get to that level, but we got to the 400 level. Okay, bear case was also I'd be bearish below 397.3ish. I should have said 0.5ish. I gave you guys that plan on Thursday's video as well. Watch out for that false breakout. If SPY loses 397.5, that's your sign to enter puts. Definitely refer to Thursday's video, okay? So pretty much simple. Calls above 398, targeting 400. Puts below 397.5, targeting 394, 392.5, 393ish. Okay, there was a 396 level as well. So if you listen to Uncle Charles, would you have made money today? Well, Friday. So here's the 15-minute chart. All these lines are based on my support and resistance levels / zones. And you can see on the opening candle, SPY opened up with a bounce off that 398 level. And the green lines, the green lines that I got here is my 399.3 to 400 zone. Got a strong rejection on the first candle, right? Next candle, it pushed all the way up. It pushed all the way up because if you watch intraday, I go to the 5-minute candle. You can see here it went up first, got a hot stove rejection from that 400 level before pushing all the way down. Okay, I don't use the 5-minute chart to trade, but I saw on the 15-minute chart on this candle right here that it closed below my 398 level. Broke that down. I entered a put. It dropped all the way down to 397. I did not take profits because I was trying to see if it could drop lower. It did not. I got stopped out. Okay, so first trade of the day for me was a no-go. I ended up buying the 398 recapture. Why? I saw it bounce off of 397.5ish around there, and it recaptured. I figured, hey, that's a nice bullish setup. Got in. Had to hold through some pain. It went as high as 399.26 before I saw some strong selling pressure. I ended up taking a little bit of profit around 399ish. Small green. Okay, but here's where the big one came, is when we took out that 397.5 level. This was the trade setup that I gave you guys on Thursday's video, and I gave it to my members. 397.5 breakdown. Look for puts, and look at that. Nice big drop to the downside. Uncle Charles played level to level, shaving saw off some profits at each level, and ending the day super green. Okay, plan went great. So here is the daily chart. Okay, this is that yellow trend line right here. This is the multi-month trend line that I'm referring to, where we got the false breakout based on the 397.5 level. Okay, so you can see here, like I always say, Uncle Charles' strategy, I long breakouts of resistance and short failure of support. So when we get a clear, like when we clear a level like this, that level that we cleared then becomes support. So when we cleared 397.5, it then becomes support. So if it broke below, that gives us a false breakout setup. False breakouts are very, very bearish. Okay, and we was able to catch $3 to $4 move. Not bad at all. All right. So I hope you guys was able to make money off this trade idea. So what's next? Now with that, we got the false breakout. Bears need to follow through. The next critical support is this multi-year trend line, this red multi-year trend line. The support of it for Monday will be at 394.6. So that level must hold to avoid more downside. If that fails, 390 is next based on my fib levels, the 23.6 retracement level. 390 is next. It maybe even go test the 50-day moving average, which is around 391. We'll see. Either 391 to 390. That's a zone. If that fails, we're going to go test the breakout level of this triangle pattern. Okay? And the breakout level right now is 387, guys. So I would look for longs there. I would look to long 387. And if 387 fails, I will cut my loss. Okay? So, but keep in mind, it needs to take out 394.6. If 394.6 gets taken out, I do have a support around 392.5 to 393. And then below that is the 50-day moving average as well as my fib level. So 390 to 391 zone. All right? Don't look for puts. Well, at least I recommend don't look for puts until you see a support level fail, especially that 394.6 level. For me to be bullish, SPY needs to do a couple of things. I have a resistance level at 396, and then above that is this multi-month trend line at 397.224. Okay, because it slopes down. So SPY needs to recapture that level, and that would put 401.5-ish in play. 401.5 is going to be a very critical level because it's based off of this gap fill that we have way back in June 9th and this multi-month trend line. Okay? I believe if we get a breakout of this multi-month trend line, it's possible a bottom is in. As of right now, that is not the case. We are in this false breakout mode, okay? Based on this trend line. So only bullish above 397.3, okay? I'll give that number. 397.3, get bullish. Below 394.6, get bearish. Anything in between is chop, so you got to be careful when it's chopping like that, okay? Anything in between is chop. All right? So be careful. Okay? So that's my plan. Try to keep it as simple for you guys as I can. Okay? I'm going to say one more time. Above 397.3, bullish. Okay? 401.5 is in play. Gap, that's the gap fill and test of this multi-month trend line. Below 394.6, bearish. Look for puts. 390, 391, and then maybe a back test of this triangle pattern as support at 387, okay? Anything in between 397.3 and 394.6 is chop, all right? Now, before I stop covering the SPY, there is one more thing that I want to talk about. Most people don't really like it, but I like it, and I do talk about seasonality maybe once a month on my Discord, okay? Now, we do not trade seasonality. The price path of seasonality will not be identical to the price path of the current year that we are in, okay? Why do I track seasonality? Because I like to check out the tendency of SPY during certain periods of time, and I like to look at the 20-year seasonality. I don't look at any other seasonality because the 20-year is a large sample. All those other seasonality, like midterm seasonality, whatever, they're small samples. This is a bigger sample, plus those years of midterms and election years and stuff, they're also included in this sample. Okay? So what I do want to talk about is seasonality showed we could get weakness in January. All right? You see that? And you see January. Okay? This is back in January. Dropped. Seasonality showed we could get a rally into early to mid-February before a drop. Then we get a rally into early to mid-January. February. Yes, we did. Before a drop. We got a nice little rally here, and then we dropped down into March, where seasonality said that we should be able to find a bottom into March and then rally into April. Did that happen? I keep picking the wrong one. Okay, we got a bottom in March and we rallied into April. However, here's where it's wrong. We're supposed to get a rally in April. That did not track with the real time price target. Okay? However, what was next? In May, we were supposed to find a bottom in May and then rally into June and then drop around mid to late June. Did that happen? Okay, we rallied to mid to late June. This is a little off, but then we dropped, right? Down to mid to late June. Should find a bottom mid to late June, okay? You can see here, in June, we were supposed to pop up maybe a little early to mid-June and then find a bottom around mid to late June before rallying into July. Did that happen? That's what happened. Found a bottom in mid-June, rallied throughout July, giving us higher highs and higher lows. All right? Now, the next thing that seasonality is saying is that the end of July, we should reach a peak and then dip, okay? A dip that continues well into early August. Now, that's next week. Next week, we got FOMC, all right? Also, SPY's already starting to take out some support levels. So could next week be a red week? Seasonality says, yes, we could have a red week next week, okay? Seasonality not 100% as you guys just saw, but it does work better than 50% of the time, which is why I still track it. I do not trade it, but I do track it. Now, seasonality says we could be red next week. Now, if we look at the weekly chart, SPY has not put in 2 consecutive green weeks since March. Okay? I just want to point that out. SPY has not had 2 consecutive green weeks since March. So if SPY continues that trend where it does not have 2 consecutive green weeks in a row, and seasonality say we could be red, there is definitely, reasons based on technical analysis to be bearish for next week. Okay, guys, got FOMC, seasonality saying get a pullback next week. Have not gotten 2 consecutive green weeks since March for SPY. So those are just something to consider. I'm not saying next week is going to be red. I'm just saying these are things that I find worth noting. Most important thing is follow the price action. I gave you guys my levels. I gave you guys the setups. And I hope you guys follow it and it works out for you. And you guys end up being very green. Okay? So now I'm going to move on to the VIX. Continues to be bearish. It back tested that level that it broke down around the 23.7 level. It back tested it as a resistance before rejecting some more. Okay, so still not bullish on the VIX. VIX is still looking bearish, which is a sign that it could be bullish for the SPY. All right, QQQ also had a false breakout of the 304 level, and it also closed below the 302.3 level. Okay, it actually did hit my price target around 308.5-ish, but got a nice rejection there. Okay, hot stove rejection, very nice. To be bullish, QQQ need to recapture 302.3 and 304 to be bullish. As long as below, still in false breakout mode, the next support is at 299.3 and then 296.7. I might try it along there around 296.7. That's the back test of this triangle pattern. Okay, but if 296.7 fails, cut loss. And if it closes below that, we are in false breakout mode of this triangle pattern. And I think bears take back control if this happens, okay? Dow Jones, let's see. Dow Jones, whoa, looking like a dark cloud candle over here, so we got to be careful, all right? I need to see Dow Jones get back above 320.5. That was July 21st's high. That would be a good start. That would put 322 and then 323 back in play for the gap fill. Above that would be 324.5, all right? As long as it stays below 320.5 though, false breakout mode. The next support is around 316, 315.4, and the critical one at 312.3. This level I've been watching for a while. Okay, so if it falls back below that, that's very bearish. And then below 310.2, it falls back within the multi-month trend line. Okay, that will be a false breakout. Very bearish. All right, IWM Also a false breakout of that 180.78 level. We cleared it 2 days in a row, and then yesterday it broke back below it. Not a good sign for the bulls. However, it back tested this multi-month trend line, the orange multi-month trend line, and found buying pressure there. So it's not too bearish because the breakout level held. I want to see, not that this breakout level held and found buying pressure, I want to see the 180.78 level get recaptured. That would be a false breakdown, which is very bullish, and it would put 185.5 back in play, a test of the other multi-month trend line that I got. And above 185.5 is very bullish, and it's possible that a bottom is in for IWM. Apple still honoring the breakout of this rising channel. However, on July 21st, it did clear that 154.22 level. That's my 50% retracement level for my fib levels. Yesterday, it closed back below it, so it is also in false breakout mode. So Apple's traders, if you're trading Apple, you need to watch that 153 level. That is breakout level of this rising channel. Below 153 is going to break back inside this rising channel, which will equate to a false breakout. Okay, lots of false breakout talking today, but that's what it is. That's what the charts are showing, and false breakouts are very, very bearish. So watch out for 153. If it can hold, I like to see it hold and recapture 154. If you can recapture 154, I would be bullish. 156.5, 158.5, then 160 would be back in play. Tesla cooled down a little bit. Look at that RSI, very overbought. We got it tried to break out that 824 level, but at the end of the day, closed below it. So the next support that I got is at 791.7. Okay, we could go back and back test that level as a support. If it holds, I like this. I may try to a small long there, but a more safer trade would be for it to recapture the 824.5 level. Okay, above 824.5, I would be more comfortable with being bullish, and I would favor more upside to 864, 865ish than 887ish. Okay. However, as long as below 824.5, we could go back and retest that 791.7 level. And if that fails, that's a false breakout of this trend line. And 766.4 and then 746 would be back in play. Below 746 is a false breakout based on this multi-month trend line. Okay? As long as it holds above this multi-month trend line, we can assume or should assume bulls are in control, okay? But if it falls back in, that's a bearish setup, okay? False breakout. All right, guys. So that's what I have for you guys today. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you guys made a ton of money. All right. We had some really, really good trades on the Discord and some good trades on the YouTube video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you guys for your support. Peace.